at Summers. They want to make sure that that top 8 streak continues, AG. They have to get through double Taros to get there.
It's going to be interesting to say the least. I mean, this is such an wild composition for a lot of reasons. We saw a little bit of why earlier in the stream, and we're definitely going to see some of that in this set as well. Already some big damage on experience just from a couple of straight hits, and Graveyard going for a lot really early.
Yeah, that's the one big thing that you have available to you, as we already see experience fall. Graveyard not doing himself any favors at the moment, though. Anonymous Alex trying to go out there to give him the opportunity to get the chase dodge to get back up, but Graveyard still falls, and Anonymous Alex also never gets back to the stage. So that was a great start up until that point.
Right. A lot of momentum for Blue Team, but then that scramble on the left-hand side and maybe a couple of ambitious options. All of a sudden now, the wind at Red Team's back. It's going to be hard to try and wrestle back, especially now that they got some footing. Red Team's so good at playing that neutral and getting those straight hits to lead into those team combos.
Yeah, and we've seen this team combination before, of course, not with the Barraza. It was with the Chronics for so long, but bit of a change up recently. Then Maid coming in with the Barraza, trying to keep that first stock. Just something Maid is usually very good for, but that's something you can't survive around. Experience, on the other hand, though, already onto his last stock.
Okay, and just like that, quick ones for Blue Team now with a slight stock favorite. It's going to be still pretty close. A lot of damage on Graveyard, and Red Team already stacking it up.
Yeah, in the middle of everybody hitting each other, they almost get a KO off the top. A big thing with experience is making sure that you take advantage of the experience you're dealing with at the time. Some games, experience is the best player in the world. Other games, experience is currently trying to make plays happen for Maid, but that's exactly what you needed to see if you're in favor of the red team. Experience really picking it up there on that stop.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the middle of that Venn diagram. Experience playing pretty well and getting those opportunities too, making it happen right now, but we can still see something wild happen if Experience can't hold on to that stock, or if Blue Team can capitalize on these stray hits. It is a very different dynamic, and one that I think Blue Team is looking for.
There were so many options covered. You go up there with the high recovery to force. If Experience dodges in, you get the KO right there. But that means Experience also has to dodge back or fade back, and that's going to line you up for that side air. And now, this is not the best position when you have Axe in blasters trying to separate the double Taros.
Right, it's so tough too because the stomp, low committal, high reward. We've seen so many big follow-ups from that. Any small hit you get, if the Taros teams are ready, they can capitalize in such a big way. So much damage to come through too with the Axe, and already they're swinging right now. Maid's gonna have a hard time finding that opening.
Maid doing everything possibly can out here, looking like the one, just dipping between each and every hit. But anytime you do get hit, you just watch that damage go up. Maid needs to continue to play exactly like this, somehow still navigating around the big team combos.
Right, really good dodges so far. Kind of missing a lot of the aerials from the Axe, but they are looking for something right now, and somehow it works out for Blue Team. Not at all what I would have expected in terms of a game one, but a pleasant surprise nonetheless.
Graveyard and Anonymous Alex really set the message early. They got rid of Experience's stock very quickly. They were able to do that again after getting that double KO that happened to them on the left side of the stage. Because if that one doesn't happen, we're looking at what could very much spell a much worse game, maybe even like a 4-stock lead. The way that they were playing.
Look at that damage, just so much damage coming from Blue Team in just raw numbers. It was still obviously very close in terms of stats and momentum, but Blue Team just was able to find so much right out of the gate. And you know, there's so much to talk about in terms of the dynamic of the set. You can definitely see some adaptations from the red team. Maybe this is a little bit of a, a different kind of composition than they're used to going up against. But Blue Team's got a lot of momentum to ride for the rest of these games. Yeah,
showing double Axe is still very much here to stay. We usually see it across the different legends. We'll see it across the double Ogrim. We'll see it across double Bryn. But we haven't seen as much double Taros, or actually just as much Taros prior to recent patches, because the hammer coming back into the swing of things. And for Maid and Experience, this is the team lineup that they've been using, at least with the Blasters Cannon lineup, for all this last year that's gotten them this success. They have to make sure that they wake up here in Game 2.
Yeah, and so far, it looked like Experience was finding a lot of really good options, but the thing is, the punishes from the Teros are just so big that it was still a pretty bad situation for Experience, and that's a fine trade, I think.
Yeah, you can get rid of both. I mean, you didn't want to have to take your teammate out at the same time, but you at least get rid of Experience, so you keep up the lead. And Anonymous Alex has been kind of elusive. That if you look back at that graph from the last game, that first stock went to the pip of him trying to save Graveyard.
Right.
And then he was still minimizing the damage pretty much from that point forward.
Yeah, oh, big damage here from that axe. Really good pickup, and what a hit. Love that, covering that high recovery. Graveyard swinging some more and more damage.
Graveyard trying to make sure that Anonymous Alex is there to be able to pick up a follow-up whenever you get the one hit, but the recovery won't be enough to do it yet on Maid. But Maid has been struggling to not only get in, but to be able to just get a weapon back. At least, finally, it took your own to be able to get rid of Anonymous Alex.
Right. No one on the red team can touch me yet. I didn't say anything about the blue team, though, but they are definitely going to still try and make it happen. Big damage on red team still as well, but if they can capitalize in this 2v1 situation. Oh, no, Anonymous Alex, elusive, as you mentioned.
It's been very, very difficult to get any team combos because in most teams, you're going to take maybe a neutral light, a dare, break something up. But in this team comp, if you try to combo starter, you're getting hit by Hammer Sair and you're losing your stock. As we see not one, but two go away right on cue, and the blue team, once again, up in a pretty decent position.
Yeah, this is going to be all about Graveyard, though. Not trying to take too much damage or lose that stock, because then it is a very rough 2v1. But if they can focus on one red team member while they have the opportunity, it can be another game for blue team. You can tell red team is thinking the same thing, though, trying to play a little elusive.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Graveyard's defense has just been really keeping this match alive for the red team, because you're very right on the fact that if they go for anything, they need to get rid of Graveyard. But Anonymous Alex smartly just making sure that Experience wasn't able to knock out Graveyard just a second ago.
What a route from Graveyard, holding on to that stock somehow. Unbelievable stuff, and the pause still holding on to the wall. Okay, finally going down, though. Anonymous Alex with a tall order of a 2v1 right here, especially with just one stock to make it happen.
And you saw just the singular mistake it took for Graveyard to finally make for them to get rid of him. And now this is your big, this is the big message you have to send. You can't let Anonymous Alex play the same way he has been playing prior to this. He has been refusing to get hit. He's been doing so much damage as time has gone on. They have to win this 2v1 if they want any type of confidence. And here we go, big combo starter.
Oh, all right, though. Anonymous Alex making it out. Goes for a little bit too much, though, and they are capitalizing very well. A ton of damage on Anonymous Alex, and this could possibly lead to the follow-up right here. No.
Anonymous Alex knocked unarmed, but there is a mistake. He just misses. But there we go. Maid does not let that get away from them. The biggest thing is that they were able to get their damage in where they could, because if they don't do that, then all of a sudden the stray hits are going to start to add up.
Right.
They kept it together, though, because it was definitely feeling pretty stressful for a second. Like, Anonymous Alex might have been able to do it until they got that team combo.
Right. It should not have felt as stressful as it ended up feeling. I get why, but it's still, like, you know, the red team had a pretty comfortable lead going into that situation, but Teros is just so terrifying.
Yeah, I will say no matter how this set ends, Graveyard has made a fan out of me. Just the way that these first two games have gone down, because Graveyard's defense has been amazing, and that is so key when you're playing two heavy-hitting characters like so, because you're going to get sent off stage at some point for trying to go for a big push like a Sair off stage, and Graveyard just refused to get KO'd when they needed it the most.
Exactly. And honestly, all of the games so far have been basically all about that momentum of when the stocks end up falling, and it's just been either red team or blue team who happens to be on the winning side of that, but they are so close otherwise.
Graveyard keeping Maid in the air. Experience trying to go help him out if he can. Both of them doubling up. Not gonna find anybody, but it doesn't matter. The messages are being sent. The Sair will not be enough to get the KO yet. Experience Maid just missing that Sair to try and push Anonymous Alex off, but they still finish the job, AG.
Ooh, and really good coverage right there. I love that option. Maid going for the Sig to just force some sort of option off the ledge, and then Experience covering it, that recovery. It's a recovery, so smart. But a quick response from blue team. Are you looking to even it up?
All about getting the tone setters right now. We'll be able to get the KO off the top with that one, but Experience is not surviving another. It won't be the top. It'll be off the side with the stomps there. Looking for a punish on a dodge towards the right Maid. Smartly, though, going in straight down, which you wouldn't think is a safe option because you have both of them between you, but he made it happen.
And I'm already terrified in the 2v1, right? You've seen so many combos. You've seen so many wonderful players capitalize, but that Heroes of damage adds up so fast. Okay, nice reversal from Anonymous Alex. Getting back to center stage and still swinging. Oh, red team, though. Huge opportunity here.
They've been building up the damage early and often now. Very different compared to last game. The recovery off the top will do it. Anonymous Alex has to avoid the slide cancel charge on the Sig, and the Dare is going to close it out. So Maid and Experience really starting to pick it up here in game number 3.
Oh, definitely. Experience looking for another one, but that's going to be Graveyard actually finding a hit over on the wall here. Going for a little bit too much, though. Got to be careful.
Avoid those recoveries from Hammer. You do not want to get snagged back off stage. Blue team, I mean, absolutely not too far away. They've been able to play very well in these positions, but they need to find Maid so they can jump Experience, or actually they might be able to just take out Experience now with that last straight hit.
Yeah, honestly, it's just all about that tempo. 2v1 situation here. They're going for a little bit too much. A couple of back-to-back signatures, but not finding the mark.
Almost kind of like that. I think that they put out the idea like, hey, here's a very punishable move. Don't pay attention to the fact that there's an Axair behind you. Right. That almost worked out very well.
It was close. I like the thought, but Experience holding on to that stock. Graveyard, unfortunately, cannot relate. Anonymous Alex trying to find a way back to the stage. Red team has just been so good with this off-stage pressure, though.
Yeah, very, very different position compared to last time. That D-Light recovery will take that out every day of the week. So they were able to not only slow down the play that they had, they started off this game with a lead, and they kept the lead compared to the previous matches where they're playing from behind and didn't have to worry about really picking it up a ton in game 2. Now they're actually up in the set. One game away from getting yet another top 8 this year.
Yeah, honestly, after you sort of went over the resume, I can't imagine it finishing any other way. But Graveyard and Anonymous Alex have been making the plays. It's been close, but there's always something to say about that dynamic, right? You have the favorites, you have the underdog. There's a lot of times where the underdog comes in with an unorthodox play style or composition, kind of, you know, sets the experienced players, no pun intended, off a little bit. And then you have those veterans make the adjustments.
I think the most important stat that I saw over there was sub 300 damage from a Teros in a 2v2 match for Graveyard. That doesn't happen. That's just that's not a thing unless you get shut down, and that's exactly what they were able to do because they realized in that previous game with how difficult it was to get to hit Graveyard. Like, all right, well, that's our problem. Let's go get rid of them.
Right, right. And I mean, if you're still just exerting the pressure and you're making that other player play defensively, that means they're probably not doing too much damage. Even if you're not finding the hits, if you can kind of zone them out, that's still very effective, especially against the blue team composition.
I'm wondering if maybe, this is a kind of a reach, but I wonder if the switch to Roman Reigns might have been so they can tell each other apart a little bit better. Because it did seem like there were a couple positions where they kind of got clumped up and maybe they might have lost where each other were. I don't think that's going to be the case, but we're going to see the switch up here to the Roman Reigns skin, still keeping that double Teros, and Experience still very much so keeping that same strong gameplay from last game.
Definitely, definitely. The cannon has been a surprising star of the show for the set.
Yeah, even with all the changes and to cross, you still have Onyx putting in plenty of work, and Experience is, well, of course, making sure that that stays that way, but will not get KO'd just yet to Anonymous Alex.
Ooh, all right, looking to try and take up some space with that neutral layer. It's going to be the Hammer, though, taking the stock. Oh, opportunity capitalized, but Maid really good defense there.
See what they can do about getting back down off that soft platform. Maid just kind of pressuring them with those nairs over and over again. Anonymous Alex has to pick a good route, but the end light's going to send them back off stage, and he's in sweat beads. He does get back on, somehow avoiding Experience. Experience going for that cider, and Anonymous Alex, I don't know how, but still holding on to this first stock.
Yeah, unbelievable. And there's some good defense, well, or assisting at least from Graveyard as well. They can really help Anonymous Alex get back, and if they can make something happen, even that I will take as a trade as a blue team fan. Still a really good pickup.
Yeah, I'll take that every day of the week. If I'm gonna lose you, then I'm taking them out at the same time. Both Experience and Anonymous Alex are being very evasive on that first stock.
Ooh, all right, big pickup from Graveyard here. trying to avoid a really tense situation, but nice hit. Graveyard.
That's huge.
Yes, finding it.
Such an earlier time compared to that previous stock. Experience was surviving for so long, and instead they get rid of Experience very quickly on that second stock.
Like you were just saying, Experience is so good to hold on to the stock, and then immediately proven wrong, as is tradition. Really nice hit.
Not often. You don't swing and a miss on those often. Right. Right now, Anonymous Alex is going to fall. Graveyard can join him shortly. We're going to see not just yet. One more playoff stage. We'll do it. That Sarah will definitely get the job done.
Okay, if Anonymous Alex can not take too much damage here, blue team can still set up for a very interesting dynamic if they can sort of beat up Experience and take that stock. Give that same sort of 2v1 situation to worry about. Yeah, it's something to think about.
Kudos to Maid for really picking it up a ton over these last couple matches too, because early on he was getting damage in, but now he's really lining up for Experience well. He's breaking up a lot of the damage they've been trying to push on. Maid will finally fall, but the damage was done. Anonymous Alex sitting on what could be his last stock, but do they get rid of Experience here? This would make such a huge difference and maybe force what could be a comfortable 2v1 and still keep Maid at low damage. If he could get rid of Anonymous Alex, they won't though.
No, they are scrambling, and somehow Maid finds the hit. Now Graveyard, it's gonna be tough, but the Cinderella story could start right here. Red team, though, does not want it to happen. They are trying to put the pressure on right now.
Yeah, they want this to come to a close now. We talked about it earlier. Teros in a 2v1 is still a huge threat, but not when he's unarmed off stage underneath a cannon ground pound. And yet another trip to top 8, as if anybody's surprised at this point, from Maid in Experience. What an insane year they have had leading up to BCX, and they are not done yet as they continue here in Autumns.
And a fantastic showing from Graveyard and Anonymous Alex.